Couch show on our channel, Sibling Rivalry. I'm Lynn.
I'm Ray. What up? Good morning. Good morning.
Welcome,
we're late,
welcome.
We're good. We're okay. A beautiful day. Good morning.
So, I just had some of I ingested cannabis in my water today. It won't let me show you. It won't let me show you. I had like drops. Yo, these are like little drops that you like put into your water or your drink or whatever, and it has your dosage right in here.
Did you know that they have in the CBD shop? This one was in Jersey. They had like Delta 8 infused like bubbly drinks. So it was kind of like the Trulies.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
Yeah. So it was kind of like the Trulies, and then you would just drink them, and they're all bubbly and everything. Sorry, I got a text message. So I had to, my eyes was like, what? All right. So what are you drinking now? So you drinking the bubbly, the drops, and then what else?
And I'm drinking just some sparkling water. I'm obsessed with sparkling water, so I actually switched it up. You know how I usually have like the bottles and I do like the Poland Spring? I switched to Schweppes. They have like the cans.
What are you drinking now?
So it's just a bigger package, and I get more when I go to the store instead of having to go back to the store many times, you know?
Nice.
Yeah.
How are the shelves in the store? I haven't really been at the like Walmart stuff.
Honestly, I don't know because I've been doing a lot of my groceries. They bring it out to me. I do like the car side.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. So I don't know. I haven't walked in. I'm curious to see.
Hey, GI, how's it going? Welcome. Thank you for tuning in.
No, that's fun.
That's hilarious. All right.
Yo, Fuzz had to change the name. Yo, all right, Fuzz, you gotta be GI now. Yo, every single time, and then he gets stuck with that name because it's hilarious when he does it. GI Jada.
Yeah.
Yo, tell me how that. Yo, so what we're gonna name the show? Let's step it back. What we're gonna name the show?
All right. So we named the show, "The Slap Heard Around the World."
That's what I wanted to name it.
That is what we named.
When we came on here.
That is what we named. That's the name of the show. Yes.
Oh, okay.
But on our thumbnail, I did a little clickbait. On our thumbnail, it says Will Smith. How these women drive simps crazy.
Yo, and you went hard because I didn't think you were gonna go there. Because I was
yo,
Lynn.
I did.
I was
honestly,
like, yo, Lynn.
I did not like this whole situation. Like, Will Smith is one of my favorite.
Yes, but we gotta acknowledge this, and I'm glad that it happened. I'm glad that it happened because we gotta acknowledge this, and we gotta start talking about this. We gotta start having the discourse because that's a broken man, and it's sad that we have to laugh about it, and we're laughing about it, but he's broken. He's broken. He doesn't know he's broken, and he needs to get away from that situation ASAP. Mm-hmm. He lost his masculinity.
Yeah.
His identity, and he needs to like. All right, we're gonna get into that because we're jumping ahead. I want to tell my joke. So what you were?
Yo, we got another one. Arrest Will Smith. No.
Yes. That's killing me.
Sincerely. No.
So our mom's at my house for the week. She's the one you're hearing in the background.
Yes.
We're gonna have extra comments.
And she's feisty. Because we were having a juicy conversation before the show, and like she's juicy. She's fired up. She's ready. She's gonna hit me. She's gonna hit me with a chancla. It's gonna come through. Look, it's gonna come through. Watch.
Try it at you.
Watch. She threw it. Oh, it hit me. No, chancla. This one's good. It's fired up. We're fired up this morning, but. So we named it the slap.
The slap heard around the world.
Yeah, and then I was gonna see how long we can go without talking about the whole incident. We're gonna pretend that the slap was me slapping people for happiness, right?
That's what I thought of. When I saw him slap him, I was like, "Yo, that's Ray. That's Ray slapping people. Be happy.
Slapping people for happiness. Like, be happy."
Wow.
So we gotta meme that up. We gotta meme that up as me walking to the stage and yo, The world is Chris Rock. Oh. Yo, so when is it okay to smack someone in the face? Never. It's never okay to smack somebody in the face. And the fact of the matter is, people are applauding this, and it shows how weak as a society we are. That we can just get insulted, and we can't have any self-confidence to just laugh it off. You know how many jokes I've heard in my lifetime?
First off,
from me,
this is like an opinion that I've carried for a long time throughout just history of me having thoughts. I feel like comedians get a pass. Comedians are gonna say some shit.
Yes.
You know, and we need to be able to just laugh at it. Laugh at yourself, like.
Yes.
And what I didn't like is that
be.
Will did laugh. He did laugh.
Yes. Yes, he did laugh. So to him,
it was like, wow, you know, a comedian, he's making jokes, you know, be lighthearted, have fun with life.
Right. His first reaction was laughter. He was there's the clip shows him laughing, but the camera panned, it showed them, but when the camera panned away, that's what we're going to talk about is what happened after that. And I'm telling you, right there, the puppet master said something. She pulled a string, and that's where Will reacted. I don't even think she said
something. I don't think she said anything, because the way it looks
she probably gave him a look.
You know, yeah, she just gave a look. That's like that mom look, like, you know, when your parents used to give you that look.
You acting up right now, right?
What?
And that's his wife, though. That is his wife, and like we need to talk about that because it's like, yo, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, so I mean, he felt the pressure with the look, and then like he stood up and was like, "Well, shit, now I have to do something."
Right.
And
and I'm telling
it was definitely like a peer pressure kind of thing. You know,
it was manipulation.
It was manipulation. He had to decide, you know, like, is he gonna like react and like defend his wife, or is he just gonna, you know, deal with it afterwards? Because can you imagine if he didn't do anything?
No, she was going to deal with it afterwards. She was going to tear his ass up. I'm telling you, because I've been there. So I know the manipulation of controlling women like that. So she looked at him, and she probably gave him the look like, yo, that's why I cheated on you. That's why you're not man enough. And then that's why he had to go. And then afterwards, like, we saw the true Will when he got his Oscar, and then he was like breaking down, crying. Like, we saw the true Will. True Will needs help. I'm gonna put it out there. Will needs help.
I agree. He's definitely, you know, throughout his career, we've seen, you know, somebody with like high standards. You know, like he was always like, hey, I'm not cursing in my lyrics. Like, I'm not, you know, like he had certain self-respect, certain standards that he kept throughout his career. And I feel as though this was very uncharacteristic of him. And I think that you're right. You're right. He is broken. And we did see the real Will when he was crying afterwards, like thinking about his actions, like, oh shit, what did I just do?
But he's a puppet being manipulated by the puppet master. And we got to talk about who the puppet master is. And we got to talk about how, you know, we got to talk about these various dynamics. So that way, if anybody's listening right now, you know, people are taking these words in, they can understand, like, yo, I got to call this out in my relationship, and I got to set boundaries. So that's really what it is. It's boundaries. It's like, yo, Will's boundary was crossed a long time ago, and now he's just trying to understand how, you know, how to
fit in this new reality that he finds himself in.
Yes, because the second she cheated on him, he should have dipped. He should have been like, yo, I'm out. Marriage over. You take whatever you're going to take. I got to keep moving on. And he did it. And I guarantee this whole open marriage they have is her idea. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. All right, so let's go to some of the comments here. It said, your thoughts on Denzel said, at your highest moment, be careful. That's when the devil comes for you. I agree with that. And that happened years ago when Will was starting off. Because they've been married since like the 90s. So she attached her anchor to somebody who was like a up and coming star. Right? He probably had Men in Black in the wing. He had Bad Boys. Right? He had all these movies. So she was like, gotcha. And ever since then, the way he was raised, that's another thing. We got to talk about the way Will was raised. Because I believe he was raised by a single mother. And he's had interviews with his first marriage, how that failed. And he said, you know, he held that on himself. He said that was his biggest failure because he was fed that, you know, that Disney gentleman narrative of, hey, you got to take care of your family. You got to have your marriage. You're not supposed to get a divorce, right? I grew up with that. I got that. That's what I thought the world was supposed to be. So when things weren't working out, I kept questioning, like, why is this not working out? And when you believe that, you do everything to try to make it work.
Yeah. Why?
Because you don't want the marriage to fail. You want the separation of family. You don't want any of that. So you take that on. And so you're like, oh, but what really the reality is that you're giving the other person a free pass. So now they're testing the boundary and they're like, oh, you didn't stop? You didn't say no? Okay, I'm going to do the next thing. Oh, you didn't say no? Oh, I'm going to do the next thing. Oh, you didn't say no? And then before you know it,
it's out of control.
This is the zoo that he's in.
It's out of control, and it's too much. It's too much to handle. And you know what? I have like the same, you know, similar upbringing. So like I feel like I've definitely stayed in relationships way too long because in my mind, it's like, no, you have to keep it together. Like you know, you sacrifice and make things work. Yep. No. What we need to understand is that, you know, we're supposed to be in a relationship as long as the relationship is, you know, feeding life into us. It's okay for a relationship to fail, you know, and we shouldn't be pushing for, you know, you shouldn't have to decide who your forever person is going to be at too young of an age. Because you have to experience that. You have to learn yourself. And you have to learn what you will tolerate, what your boundaries are. That's all a process.
I would even take it one step further and say that if you're in a relationship and you're not growing, then you're in a bad relationship.
Yeah.
Because especially, like you hear people who get married at a young age. But if they grew together between the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, then yeah, that was a healthy marriage. But it's like if you're in a situation where it's toxic, you're making excuses. You're like, oh, I could change this. Oh, that's the worst one. I could change this person. Nobody's going to be changed unless they want to be changed.
Yeah.
So it's like,
that's my thing. I always fall for potential. Like, not everyone lives up to their full potential. Like, I need to accept that. I need to accept that. Just because you see someone's potential doesn't mean that's who they are.
Right. And also, you got to take the person for their average. Right? So if you see something one time, it's so amazing. Oh my God, this person. But they're like this other person. That's who they are. That's their potential. Who they're averaging, you know?
Actions speak louder than words.
Yes. All right. So what are some of the comments?
All right.
I missed one. Arrest Will Smith said, "I respect Chris Rock for not fighting back. There are too much to ridicule." And you know what? When I look at those two men, I see one a chump and one's a champ, right? Chris Rock is a champ because he didn't fight back. He took his hit. He didn't say anything afterwards. He didn't make any more jokes. He kept moving forward.
Yeah.
And the chump, I hate to say it, is Will Smith. And like you said earlier, Will Smith was one of my biggest. I was a big Will Smith fan. Big Will Smith fan. I mean, you know the saying where people are like, oh, that's the man that men want to be and women want to be with.
Yeah.
That was Will Smith.
That was him. Absolutely.
That was Will Smith. Like you saw him in Men in Black. You saw him in Bad Boys. I mean, I even liked him in Wild Wild West. And people are like, oh, that's a corny movie. But I love that movie, right? You were playing you were playing Will Smith's tracks back in the day.
Yeah.
Like he made it in movies and as a hip hop star.
As an artist, as a music
artist. An artist, yeah. He was like a genuine creative artist all around. Right? Like you see Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yo, I was talking so much shit while this was happening on TV. I was like, yo, you don't need to be in this. Like, I feel like he needs to be with someone who's just, making him stronger mentally and, like, believing in himself as a man. Like, I don't
Honestly, he doesn't need to be with anybody
right now. He knows his true value.
He doesn't need to be with anybody right now. What he needs to do is he needs to love himself. He needs to, because I'm telling you, he was raised to think that he needs somebody. That's why he takes on the heavy weight of the relationship. That's why he's carrying this marriage, even though it's just falling apart. And the reality is, if he learns to love himself and just be alone, and I'm not saying like, look, he's Will Smith. He's going to go, he's going to have ladies in and out and all that. And that's okay. Date. Go out and date. I bet you Will Smith never dated. Because he's been with her since the late 90s?
I just, like, in my mind, it's forever. They've been together forever.
Yeah. But, yo, Will needs help. And the only way he's going to get help is stepping away from her. Yeah. He has to step away from her. He has to start loving himself. He has to say, what is my full potential as an artist? Because once again, he aced being an artist, early in his life. But there's so much more to being a human, right? So what is it? What's the rest? What's the rest of being a man that I have to go out there and I have to ace? I have to,
he's raising
accomplish.
His children. And then that's perfectly fine. That could just be like the season of life that he's in. Just be a parent right now. Love yourself. Be a parent.
Yeah, but I also feel like he's not able to be the fullest father he wants to be because of the manipulation from his wife. Like, I think there's times where his kids do things,
I feel like
he probably wants to speak up.
Like, he doesn't need to be with her. He doesn't need to be with her. Like, that should have ended when she cheated on him. You're right. I absolutely agree with that. I think that if he, just like the season of life that he's in, he doesn't need to be a husband right now. He needs to be a father. And, also, like, discover himself.
But even then, I mean, at some point, Will has to realize for him to be the best father, he has to love himself first. Mm-hmm. He has to truly believe that he is the man before he can go and give advice as the man. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like he's never going to really truly believe anything that comes out of his mouth if somebody's controlling him. Like what he really needs, his kids are grown too. I believe they're like in their teens, if not older. So he can walk away now and take time for himself. Take the time for yourself and do that inner healing inside you. Right? Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's because his father wasn't in the picture. Maybe he had to fight that demon. I don't know, with the first failed marriage. Now this is he's gonna feel like a failure. Right. And he needs to go dig deep inside and find out, what it is that's going to heal me to make me a better person. That's it. Take some time, Will. We love you. You're cracking, bro. Yeah. You're going to do something crazy.
I mean, his emotions, like, you could just look at his emotions on that day. He is broken.
Yes.
He is broken.
He was on an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, you know?
He
was laughing, then the adrenaline hit because you're walking up to somebody to hit him. His heart was going, like his mind was racing.
He laughed after the smack. Mm-hmm. So when he turns around, you see he has like a big smile on his face. He's laughing. Mm-hmm. Right. Then they left the show. They came back to the show. He won. He won the Oscar and was crying in his acceptance speech. Mm-hmm. And like he was just falling apart. So when you're going through all those emotions, you don't have your emotions in check. Mm-mm. You don't know how to control your emotion. So I'm telling you, he needs to take time and he has to be alone. That's what he needs. Like he needs to be alone. He needs to talk to himself. He needs to meditate, being here for a little bit, and just control all of that and grow. Like he needs that hero's journey. Like he needs to go to like a challenge.
Like a challenge. That's what he needs right now.
Yeah, like he needs to go like climb a mountain or something and then come back and be like rugged Will with the whole beard. And he's like, yes. And he's like all stoic. He says like 1 or 2 words. He's like, yes. And everybody's like, wow, Will is so, oh my goodness, he's so, wise, Will the wise. All right, so oh man, there's so many comments this morning. This topic got going. Let's go. All right, so Arrest Will Smith said, before The Rock, Dwayne Johnson owning nicest guy in Hollywood title, Will Smith held the same title for many years. That is correct. Now the title has left because now Will and because of his wife Jada, now that they're just like a weird family. They're just a very weird, and people are like, oh, I don't want to be like them. Which is crazy because a lot of marriages wanted to be like Will.
They're trying to maintain what they had, but it's been tarnished. It's been spoiled.
Yes.
And like, they're broken. He's broken. Mm-hmm. But as a family, they're broken.
Yes. And so they're trying to maintain that image. And yeah, you're right. The title of nicest guy is now on Dwayne. Yeah. The Rock, which is crazy because, you know, The Rock is very aggressive when it comes to, like, he was aggressive when he was in WWE. He's aggressive in Hollywood, right? He has his own production company, but I believe his production company is run by his ex-wife. So another man that is in power, who's like, if you want to say like alpha or top, you know, in one aspect of their lives, and then just succumbs to these manipulations on another aspect of their lives.
Well, I don't know if we can name that situation manipulation, because we don't know what kind of relationship they have. Maybe she's, you know, the best person for the job, and she's someone that he trusts. You know, we don't know why their relationship ended, so we can't really, you know, make assumptions on that one.
I want to say that we're going to hear a couple of years from now something like this happening with The Rock. I'm just saying. I'm not putting it out there for the universe to do it, because I love The Rock too. You know, once again, you know, these are the nice guys, right? These are the guys you see on TV, and you're like, you're inspired to be like them, right? Mm-hmm. Because, you know, they're not the thuggish type of guys who are like out there running around with guns and all this stuff. Like, you see there's people in Hollywood and, you know, the music industry that are just like that. Mm-hmm. But that's not the kind of people you're inspiring to be. You're trying to be like the Will. You're trying to be like The Rock, right?
Right.
But then you find out, like, these guys, once again, it's a facade. They're great in Hollywood, but in the rest of their lives, they're going with the flow. And it's like, who's controlling the flow then?
Yeah. That's and you know what? Honestly, the control is coming from these imaginary boundaries that we create on ourselves because we're too damn worried about what other people think.
Yeah.
That's what's controlling it. That's what's, you know, leading this path. It's the path of least resistance because we're so damn afraid to just be ourselves.
Yeah, you know who else was in that scenario too? Johnny Depp. Here's another guy, right? The freaking Pirates of the Caribbean, right? Edward Scissorhands, man. Like, Johnny Depp, great actor. And look at that toxic relationship he was in. I mean, it was toxic. I don't know what
relationship you're talking about. I don't know. Who was he in the relationship with?
He was in a relationship with the actress that was in Aquaman. I forgot her name.
Okay.
But she played the redheaded girl in Aquaman. And so she was putting out there that he was beating her and all this stuff, right?
I did hear about this. Okay, yeah.
And then you know, he got canceled. You know, Hollywood canceled him and everything. He had clips. He had literally like videos and recordings of it was the other way around. She was the one that was being abusive, and like she was doing like these manipulative things for like to get a rise out of him, to get him to like attack her. And so he was recording, like, she would beat the shit out of him, and then like he would go and defend her, and then she would call the cops. Yeah. So like, and the funny thing is like she's now going to be in Aquaman 2. Right? Hollywood's still giving her a role and everything. She's still movies and stuff like that.
That's crazy to me. And then, that's crazy. Okay.
Yeah, and then Johnny Depp's done. He's done. Like, nobody wants to sign him or anything. They're like, he's toxic.
Wow.
Even with all the evidence.
That's just based on the false accusations.
Yeah, and there was like
and the fact that like society now like correlates his name with something negative.
Right. And once again, you know, people don't go and listen to, you know, they don't go research. They just see what the tagline is, and that's what people go with. So You're right. He has a stigma now. He has a stigma in Hollywood as a woman beater, right? Mm-hmm. And yet the fans were out there. The fans were, you know, hashtag I stand with John and stuff like that. But none of that worked. None of that worked. He got that stigma.
Damn.
All right.
Just reading through the comments again.
Your thoughts on the siblings?
I think arrest Will Smith is Trist, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
No, I think that's fun. No, that's fun because he said.
He just switched it. Gotcha. Okay. Because he was like, I got another one.
G.I. Jada. Yeah, and then he switched to arrest Will Smith. I love that G.I. Jada. Because that's what got her triggered, man. Yeah. She got so triggered.
Yeah, I think we should talk about that too. Like, was in a position to be strong for women who are going through stuff and like be stoic and show like, hey, like I can laugh at this, you know, like this isn't gonna knock me down. This isn't ending my life. Like she went out with the hairstyle and she embraced that figure who she was, but when it was made fun of, she didn't stand with that same like strength. She didn't show like that same like stoicness. And I feel like that was just, I don't know, like that was complete emotions, you know, like her feelings were hurt. And she put a whole lot of pressure on Will with just that one look. And that's something that, you know, I've noticed. And like I speak it out too, like, cause like I like to vacation and I dress very provocatively. Like I do, whatever. And I think about the kind of situations that I'm putting, like, whoever I'm with in also. Like, you have to think about that. It's not just about you and what you want. Like, what kind of situation, you know, could possibly happen where he's going to have to, like, step up and, like, do something? You know? And, like, she wasn't thinking that. In that split moment, like, she was hurt and she looked at him like, help me. And
or like when you see it on YouTube, or even when you go out, those girls who like to run their mouths, and then they start a fight with some random dude, and then they're like, oh, now the boyfriend has to fight the fight.
Yeah, like you have to think about what kind of situation you're putting somebody into.
And I'll tell you right now, that type of woman doesn't respect men. Doesn't respect men, doesn't care about men. She doesn't care about the guy she's starting to fight with. She doesn't care about her boyfriend. She has no respect. And if that woman lacks respect for men, why be around that woman? That's a toxic woman. And so I'm saying it. I'm putting it out there. Jada has no respect for Will. She's a toxic woman. He needs to get away. That's it. Yo, I'm telling you, he's like Pavlov's dog at this point, where she could just give him a look. Think about all the shit he has to go through behind the scenes in their relationship for her to give him a look, and he goes and reacts the way he did.
Yeah, because it's definitely not like, oh, this is just like a new situation. How are you?
Right.
It was intent. It was intent. Yeah.
Because you know how men are. Men are, for the most part, women are throwing signals, and it goes over men's head. And we're dense sometimes. We don't even know. We're like, what? what? So
I agree.
So if this was the first time. If this was the first time she ever gave him a look like that, it would just went over his head. He would shut the hell out.
It would have. Wow, yo, I didn't even think about that. It would have.
So think about how many times that look has to be like, oh, that's what the look is? Oh, okay. And then, after a while, so first it goes over your head, right? Then you want to fight the look. And you're like, try to stay in your boundaries. But then after a while, you just give up. Yeah, after a while, you give up. And when the look comes, you pounce.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm telling you, he was like Pavlov's dog. He was like, ring the little bell, he pounced. You're right. It takes a lot of train.
It does. That's why I'm saying, like, in my opinion, it was a really tough situation for Will. I feel like Will's the victim in this.
Yes, he is. He's so the victim in this.
And you know what? It's something that I didn't even realize, but it is that I have enough respect for the person I'm with to not put them in certain situations. Like even though I hadn't like, labeled that as, oh, that's respect, like that's what it is, but I would never put my man in a situation like that.
Right. And if there was something that like started to pop off, because you respect your man, you would try to diffuse it too.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like if
in that split moment when he stood up, she should have known what he was gonna do.
Right. And
she should have been like, no, like chill, like.
Right. No, but she wanted that. She was like, yes.
She felt entitled to that reaction.
Right.
Yeah, she was like, yo, like, you're my husband. You need to defend me. You need to, like, stand up for my honor. But, like, bitch, you already fucked up your own honor. Like, she's the one who cheated. I'm so mad at her for that. I am so damn mad at her. Like, that was one of those couples. They were one of those couples that you're just like, damn, like, they've been together forever. You're right. You aspire to be like them. Like, I was so mad at her. You know what? I was disappointed. Jada, you disappointed me.
When that whole story came out about August and all that, when I posted, I was like, yo, every man still wants to be a Will, but no. Every woman still wants a Will, but no man wants a Jada. That's what I said. That's what I put out there. I was like, yo, all women still want Will. He's successful. He has money, right? He's good looking, right? Women want Will. Will can get options. Ain't nobody gonna want Jada. Ain't nobody gonna want Jada. They'll have fun with Jada. And that's what a lot of women get that twisted. A lot of women, they equal fun as a relationship or it's gonna last long. Like, no, fun is fun. Fun is fun. Like Jada will have fun. Like she had fun with August, right? But what did August do? He was like, I'm out with my career. You old, I'm out. Bye. Yeah. And so she'll have fun, but ain't nobody gonna stick around. Where they'll stick around with Will. But it's like, oh, why can't
I was professing my love to him. I was like, oh my God.
Well, I
was like, yo, and I told myself, I was like, yo, and if at any point in my relationship with this man, I were to like just not be feeling him, I was like, I would just go watch like iRobot. Or like another one of his like movies and be like, I love you again. Like, what's wrong with her? What is wrong with her? Yo, she's married to Will Smith, and that's the life she's like choosing to live.
That's the way she wants to. Yeah, but it's not about, for her. It's not about being married to Will Smith. It's about controlling Will Smith. Like, she don't see Will as an equal. She doesn't see Will as her husband. She sees Will like lesser than her kid. That's somebody she can control.
And you know what? It'd be like that sometimes. Like you're one of the kids. You're
not even less than the kids. You're less than the kids because she lost respect. She lost love. Like, at least with your kids, you're still optimistic. You're still saying, hey, I want my kids to be something. So you're not going to be so hard on them, right? Because you want your kids to be something, right? He's lower than that. He's like a servant at this point. Like lower. Like, she probably treats the staff better than she treats Will. Oh man, that's heartbreaking. All right,
that's like a hard pill to swallow. I feel so bad for him.
Yeah, I'm glad you said it. You were like, Will is the victim in all this. Amen. You're right. Man. And mad respect for Chris Rock. I always love that dude, but even more love for Chris because he held it together. Like that's a sign of a man. That's a sign of a man with boundaries and confident in himself, right?
Yeah.
Like, he was just like, all right, Will.
He was like, Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Yeah. What? I would give so much props if Chris Rock was like, yo, Will, I see you going through some stuff. Let's go on a camping trip. Let's go on a retreat. Me and you. Let's talk.
That'd be awesome.
Because, like, Will needs that. Like, Denzel, somebody save Will. Talk to this man. Tell him he needs to get out of this toxic relationship. And I get it. It's like the sunk cost. Like, he put in, 30 years married to her. And it's like, oh, my God, 30 years. It's going to go to waste. I'm such a horrible person. I get it. But at some point, you got the rest of your life to live. And you want some emotional stability. You got to bounce.
And honestly, like, breakups are hard, but it doesn't have to negate what you had. Like, you have 30 years of beautiful memories. Hold on to that. But like, you have the next 30 years to make beautiful memories just like loving you. And right. See where that takes you.
And to be honest with you, he's already been breaking up with her. So that whole August thing that happened, all this right now, this is part of the breakup. It's just as long as you've been in a relationship, that's as long as you're breaking up. So they've been together, 30 years. They've been breaking up for the last 10.
Nobody just rips off.
This is all part of it. Yeah, you do need to just rip that shit off because you're just wasting more time, wasting more and more time. All right, so let's go through some of the comments. Your thoughts on the siblings of the Williams sisters said Will should be stripped of the Oscar award. I heard about that. Now the Oscars are investigating him. and they're thinking about taking back the Oscar or not inviting him, banning him. And I'm like,
that's crazy.
It's not that serious to do all that. To be honest with you, I think look, there's a man crying for help. We see it. The world sees it. Like, let's help this man. Let's not push him down more in the dirt. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what happened to Robin Williams. That's why he hung himself. I heard with Robin Williams, he was doing a show, and the show wasn't getting good ratings, so everybody was like ragging on him and all that. Mm-hmm. And then on his personal life, he was like, he had 2 ex-wives that was asking for more and more money, right? So he was like, he felt like a failure, you know, career-wise and, you know, personal life. Yeah. This is Robin Williams. To this day, I think that's like the funniest man ever.
Yeah.
He could just, like, he was just like personified funny, you know, just laughter, right? Mm-hmm. And he just felt like such a failure. And that's why he ended up taking his life.
Yeah, like there aren't many like artists, actors who, you know, like I even know their names, you know, like I don't give a damn about Hollywood, but he's one of the ones that, you know, during like growing up, like my childhood, I remember watching his movies and like he was just one of the ones that like I knew his name.
Yeah.
You know, like I knew who he was.
So let's see what more we got to catch up with the comment. Yes, I don't want Will to lose the Oscar. I think this is his first one, right? Or did he get another one for Pursuit of Happiness? I think he might have another one.
He might have one. But you know what? We shouldn't negate his accomplishments because of this one moment of...
Right. He's human. This is a human reaction. Human. Right. But we do need to talk about, though, you know, how people want to react with hands nowadays. It's like, yo, Will's lucky Chris didn't go ape shit. That's all I'm saying.
That's true.
That's all I'm saying. But
that's true.
But I mean, like, we got to be able to take a punch and like go to more comedy clubs. You know, have people bring guys around you that rag on you more. Like, you got to be able to take. Like, our society is too sensitive. Like, we're too sensitive. We can't laugh at ourselves. We can't take a joke. You know, we want to cancel everybody, and now we're putting hands. Come on, Will. Come on, that's bad. That's a bad example.
Mm-hmm. But honestly, I feel as though, you know, with all the artists that are out here and the way they behave, like, for Will Smith, this was a mistake. You know, like, this isn't like, oh, this is his personality, this is who he is, like, he's toxic. No, this was a mistake, and it's a cry for help, and I don't want to say, like, oh, just, like, negate completely that it happened, but, let's not hang him out to dry for this.
I don't think it was a mistake. I think it was somebody's action, somebody's intentional action. Let me put that out there. It was someone's intentional action for him to react. However he reacted, it is what it is. But somebody was intentional. Somebody wanted him to react, right? Mm-hmm. And I think if that person keeps making him react in certain ways, we might hear other outbursts like this. I don't know. I don't think this is one and done. I really don't. Because he was in control of his own actions. He was just like, yo, react. And he did. And so who knows? Who knows if he does, you know, what happens when he's on set and she's there? And the director says something. She gives him the look. He's going to fight the director? He's going to flip a table? He's going to wild out on set?
No, but I think based on personality, I'm going on a limb here, but based on personality, like, I don't think this is going to be, like, a repeat thing.
I'm telling you, that wasn't Will.
I think he genuinely, like, realized, like, oh shit, what did I do? And that's the reason why, like, he was just so over-emotioned when he won his Oscar.
No, that him crying wasn't about the whole Oscar. Because he even said it.
No, it's just, he was saying all the emotions accumulating together.
No, he even said it. He said it. He's like, in this business, we take a lot of stuff. We take a lot of people. And that was from him. That was the whole August thing. He was crying from the whole August thing, as far as like just the whole, them putting it out there and then the reaction from the world. Mm-hmm. 50 Cent was ragging on him. people were talking about his wife like that. No, he was a joke. That he has a wife that's sleeping around with other men. Like his manhood. That he was crying for his manhood. That's what that was all about. That was just him just letting all the emotions out. Like you ever got into a fight with somebody and like you were just so pissed off to fight them that you were crying while you're fighting?
Wow.
That's how I fight. Like when I fight, I start crying. I'm just like I'm ready to kill that person, and I'm all emotional. Like I'm like my emotions don't make sense right now.
No, Ray, I have not been in a fight like that.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, and then they gotta pull me on because I'm ready to kill the guy, and I'm like, let me kill him. So that's like Will's just like that's just like you think you just when you in that fight right there, you just letting like all the kind of emotions coming out. You ain't even thinking about the guy. The guy's just a tool for your frustration and your anger. So it's like, I don't know. He let it all out. He said his words. And if you look at his speech, it's more than the Oscars. It was more than his speech. It was more than the smack. It was tied to just everything. I'm telling you, that man needs help. When he was like, in this industry, we gotta deal with a lot of stuff, and it's like he was just letting it out. You gotta read in between the words what he was trying to say. Leah's never been in a fist fight in her life. Yeah, she has.
I've been in two.
And she likes to instigate. She's one of those like you ain't shit. I've been times when I was out with Lynn and Lynn said something. Like, yo, Lynn, what are you trying to do? Lynn looks a little scrappy. Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
I hold my own if I have to, but I avoid altercation. That's not the life that I'm choosing to live. I just want to love everybody and be loved. I just want rainbows and butterflies. That's Lynn's life over here. It's great.
So, going back to some of the other comments, does the award for Will Smith matter because movies are quickly declining to obscurity? I mean, it's still an art, no? We still enjoy movies. It's an art. I wouldn't take his accomplishment away. I mean, he's a very renowned and well-deserving actor, right? Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't want to take his Oscar away. And his Oscar does matter, you know? I haven't seen the movie. But if I ever do see it, I'll be like, oh, okay, this is why he won the award. Makes sense, you know?
Will Smith is part of our history now.
Yeah.
You know, like he's part of our culture, he's part of our history, and he's always, held himself to a higher standard and been a great role model. You know, it's not like he was, always in the news and in this scandal and in that. Like, no, like he's held himself higher.
He was the nice, like they say, he was the nice guy of Hollywood. And we need to talk about that because now that nice guy, as you can see, you see these nice guys out here and they're getting played to the point where they're breaking, right? Mm-hmm. And like what, as a society, we need to change that. We need to stop that. We need to call that out. It's like, cause then there won't be nice guys. And if there's no nice guys, all right, then you only got nothing but bad guys. You need bad guys like me in your life. That's from Scarface. All right. How can the awards show preach tolerance and nonviolence, but not punish Will Smith? I think they are. They're investigating into him. So they are definitely standing by their message of nonviolence. I don't know why Will didn't just take the stage and start riffing some jokes or something like that. See, if he wasn't so broken, he would have thought like that. He would have not thought about putting hands on somebody. I mean, putting hands on somebody is a very weak mentality. It's a very, very weak frame. That's why you see those girls in the bar yapping, and they want the guy to get into a fight because she's testing that stronger guy. She's testing him to see if he's weak to be like, oh, I'm gonna fight you now. And then once she breaks him, then she's like, oh, okay, boyfriend, go fight. Go defuse the situation. Go fight for my honor. Oh man, it's crazy out here.
That's crazy. I don't know anybody like that.
I see it all the time. I'm just laughing. I'm laughing. I see it on YouTube, the YouTube fights, and it's just hilarious. Or the woman who thinks they could put hands on somebody, and then when the guy fights back, there's like 20 dudes that stop. I'm like, no, you can't hit a woman. I'm like, yo, she was beating the shit out of me. What are you talking about? Those clips are hilarious. I'm like, yo, let him fight. If she wants to act grown, let her fight. Let him fight. Let him fight. All right. You know that this is going to end up in his comedy routine. Oh, I hope so. Yo, you know what the joke was afterwards? They were like, Chris had been like, oh, I'm feeling that in August. Because that was his name, the guy that she cheated on, August. And Chris would have said, that. Oh, shit. No, but Chris, mad respect for Chris. He just took it, didn't say anything, and it's like, whatever. Kept it going.
Yeah.
Is the American culture in a men crisis? What happens to stick and stone, lashing out and choosing violence the new normal? Yeah. You know what? Yes. Our culture is in a crisis. It is. And that stems to the fact that in our culture, we've lost holding people accountable. We stopped saying, hey, shaming people, don't do this. Because something like that, it goes back to like the whole, like just how our culture is right now. People are chasing, quick gratifications, right? They're out there, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, and just doing whatever they want with no repercussions, no, accountability, no nothing. Mm-hmm. So that's part of it. Well, I'm going to hit you now. I'm going to put hands on. That's all I've been asking. I'm like, I don't understand when it's been okay to put hands on somebody. I don't get it. All right, let's see what else. Will could take on a Chris. Does Will believe that?
I don't think it matters. I don't think that that's a solution to anything. Like, who cares?
Yeah, but you know what? That's a guy thing. That's a guy thing. Like, we always size up. We always like, yo, I can take him. I can take that. And I question. I'm like, is Will in the right mindset to believe that? Because I know Chris is. Chris will scrap. Chris will scrap, and he'd be like, look, I didn't win, but at least I held my own. And I think that's why he was able to, just take the hit and was like, yo, okay, I eat those for breakfast. Then again, I think he didn't even hit his face. I think he hit his shoulder. So that was just, and Will was like, freaking hilarious. So, your thoughts on Jim Carrey calls Oscar audience finalists for Will Smith's standing ovation? I don't know what the context of that was. Is he like calling those finalists for applauding Will for his Oscar, even though he just reacted the way he did? I mean, like I said, two scenarios. You shouldn't take away from Will's performance. They shouldn't take away from that. That's the way I believe. Right? He put in the hard work. He did this. He studied, the character. He lived the character. He brought it to, the screen, and he deserves the Oscar. So I do believe he deserves being applauded by his peers. But I don't know. Oh, Jim Carrey though. Jim Carrey, this one's a tricky one because Jim Carrey's also been awoken. Like if you see some of his talks, people are like, "Oh, he's so crazy," but he's like, "Yo, this is all this don't matter." Mm-hmm. He says that. Like somebody's interviewing, he's like, "What are we doing? This doesn't matter."
Yeah.
So like, I like Jim Carrey too. Like I love Jim Carrey too, and I'm like, he's saying that. I'm trying to think of like where is he coming from because I know how he sees the world, but I don't know. I still stand with Will. I don't think. I think he deserves the applause. I think he deserves the recognition. I mean, he made a mistake, He stumbled, right? And hopefully we won't see any more. Lynn's saying we're not going to see any more of this.
I don't think we're going to see any more of this.
I think so because unless he gets away from that toxic relationship, he needs help. And if you don't get help, what happens? You spiral. You're on a downfall. So is this just a one and done, or is he going to spiral out and start going down a downfall? I mean, he cried on screen talking about how people's comments, the news, and all this stuff is taking a toll on him. So if now we're talking about him, everybody's talking about him, how do we know that he's not going to take that more to heart and he's going to keep collapsing? Change the title of the video to Muhammad Ali slapped Chris Rock. That's a funny one because he played Muhammad Ali. Did he get an Oscar for that? When he was Ali?
I don't know. I don't follow Hollywood. I have no idea.
That might have been his first one. I don't know. Wait, why is injured? I don't know. I missed that one. I don't know the context of that one, Trist. You gotta ask that one again. Your thoughts on Chris Rock ticket sales see spike after Will Smith slap? The cheapest ticket was $411. You know what? People want to know what Chris is going to say. Yeah. People want to know. Because Chris is probably going to... Look, you know what? But I'll tell you what, Chris is probably not going to joke about this. He probably won't. Or he'll probably joke it in a way that he's taking on the grunt of the joke. Self-deprecating humor, right? Mm-hmm. So he's going to be like, oh, you know... But I don't think he's going to touch this anymore because he sees what it is.
Well, I'll let you know. Because your girl got tickets.
To go see Chris Rock?
Yes.
Oh!
Yep.
See that?
Yep. I'm seeing, it's later in the summer. I don't remember the date. It's later in the summer. But I had tickets before. All I know is I'm going to see Chris Rock and Kevin Hart.
Oh, so you know how much you could sell those tickets for?
Right?
Yo, the money you could make on that? All right. Why is everyone against Will when he stood up for his wife? Yet, yes, they are having problems and not the right place, but that's why men traditionally used to do, defending their partner's honor. Because it wasn't a moment for him to stand up and defend her. I mean, if you take the venue... She
wasn't in danger.
Right. And the insult wasn't really an insult. I mean, that's what comedians do. Mm-hmm. They go there and they joke on everyone. Everyone is fair game. Mm-hmm. Right? I see when I've been there, comedians joke on the fat dude. Comedians joke on a weird mixed match couple, right? Mm-hmm. Black and white guy or black and white girl, whatever, right? And then, you know, they joke on everything. Mm-hmm. And if we're going to show, like, oh, certain people are protected, you can't joke about them, or certain things can't be joked about, then you're just going to kill comedy.
Yeah.
And we see that. We see that happening with cancel culture. So, Will defending her honor, hey, if a scenario called for something in that sense, the way he reacted, that wasn't a scenario. That wasn't a scenario. Like, he should know that. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm saying. Like he was the one who escalated. He was the one who escalated that situation.
Like, she was not in any kind of danger. You know, like, it's not like they were, like, out in the club and, like, some shit happened. Like, oh, somebody grabbed her ass. You know, like, I don't know. Like, it wasn't in a situation where he needed to react in that way.
Correct. That wasn't life or death. Like, hands should only be put on life or death scenarios, mm-hmm. right? Like, you got to defend yourself, really. Like, I don't understand his reaction. And then when I see it, like, at first I was like, yo, why is Will? And then I understand it. He was reacting because of her reaction, right? Mm-hmm. He wasn't doing it for the cameras. He wasn't doing it for anything else. He wasn't even doing it for her honor.
Yeah.
He was doing it because she thinks of him of less of a man. She's emasculated that man to the point where when she looks at him, he knows, oh shit, I'm not a man in her eyes. That was it. So he was like, did I did it right? Am I a man now? That's what he did. And it's like that, yo, Will needs to just give it up. Will, it's not gonna work. I mean, she dated Tupac. She wants the bad boy. Bad Boys for Life. He played on the movie, but that's not you, Will. That's not you, my guy. Oh, and think about it. He was Mike Larry. He was the guy, right? Driving the Porsche.
Yep.
Wearing the rock the suit. Yo, he was hit. She was telling dudes how to get laid. Oh, just not congruent with, who he's been playing on TV.
No.
Oh, man. All right. No Will Smith first, and only Oscars for King Richard. Oh, really? I didn't know that. I thought he had a past Oscars. Okay, so this is his first one. So even more. I don't want to take it away from him. I don't. But think about it. Think about the reason why you want to take it away from him. So you want to negate the first Oscar he has, which is like an accomplishment of his last 30 years. Like he should have came out there for his first Oscar, gave out a speech of, yo, I made it. 30 years, I made it, right? And he just came out there, right? And it's like, for what? For what? His wife is a washed-up actress. Like for what? So all of his accomplishments, all the stuff that he did, that's Will Smith just buried under her toxic nonsense. I don't get it. Wasn't she bald in The Matrix? And yes, she wants to be your.
All right. So that's what I was saying earlier too. Like she knew that she publicly spoke about what she's going through. She spoke about that. She she put that out there, and she went there with this amazing dress, and like her hair was like done real short. Like she was supposed to be a strong symbol for women going through, a similar situation that she can relate to. And she wasn't confident enough to sit in that when the comedian made a joke.
Yes. And you know why I'm laughing right now? Because I'm thinking about that scenario. Because we lived this scenario. I completely forgot about the fact that we lived through this scenario. Where we went to a comedy club, right? Uh-huh. And the comedian was on there, he was telling jokes, and then go ahead, you tell the reaction.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
With your friend,
I was going through my mind. I was like, all the comedy shows I've been to. I was like, wait, which one did we go to? Oh my god!
We've been through a lot. We've been to a lot of comedy shows. Like we saw the Wayne Brothers. That was hilarious. Somebody tried heckling, and they go in, and that's comedians. Like you gotta understand that that's what they do. And to say, okay, it's the Oscars, not a comedy show, but look who was hosting.
My watch is telling me to get moving.
Move your hands around.
Yep.
Like the Oscars was hosted by Amy Schumer and I forgot who was the other one. But it was a comedian that were hosting it, Wanda Sykes, right? Mm-hmm. And they're hosting it. And then they have Chris Rock presenting, who's a comedian. It was supposed to be like jokes to lighten up the air, right? And so you're gonna say like, oh, who in there? He's roasting everybody in that room, right? They're roasting everybody in that room, and everybody's just laughing, ha 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 ha. So now you're gonna say certain people you can't make fun of? Come on. It wasn't called for. It wasn't called for. And the joke wasn't even that funny. I mean, it was like, oh, you're in G.I. Jane too, okay. It would have been more funny if he would have been like a Neo or Morpheus reference with the Matrix or something like that. But it was like a movie that everybody forgot about. Mm-hmm. Now the memes that are coming out is hilarious.
Everybody loves Chris.
G.I. Jada. Those are hilarious. Oh man. But I mean, you gotta laugh at some things. Like you can't. I don't know. We can't be selective. I'm telling you, there's been guys in a wheelchair at a comedy club and they got made fun of. And they didn't react in this sense, right? And they go start throwing stuff on the table. because they can't walk up the stage, you know? They didn't wow out. Like, people, you gotta laugh at yourself sometimes. Yeah. And like you said, if she's standing by this message of I'm strong, I'm a strong woman, then show it. Mm-hmm. Show that you're a strong woman. Take a joke. And that's another thing. That's another reason why Will shouldn't have intervened, and Will should not went stand up for his woman's honor. Yo, what is the message that women keep saying over and over and over again? I'm a strong woman. I'm an independent, strong woman. I'm an independent, strong woman. So then why do men have to defend a woman's honor now and then? I don't understand that. Like, you strong, defend your own honor. Yeah. Why didn't Jada go up there and smack him?
You know what? I would have accepted that as okay.
What,
if she would have gotten up and slapped him, like, I feel like that would have been an acceptable slap.
Yeah?
Yes. Not because she needed to in that instance or anything, but I feel as though, like, men are allowed to get slapped. Like, you cross the line, you get slapped, you take the slap. That's it. Shut up, Ray.
What? Wait, what? What did you say?
I said men should be able to take a slap. Like,
listen. You put hands on somebody, be prepared to get your hands put on you.
No.
That's how this world should operate.
No.
And women need to understand that. You slap a man, be ready to be slapped back. Now, most men won't slap you back, but you should not be thinking that you can put your hands on anybody. Come on, even when you were a little kid, mom, our mom said, don't put your hands on anybody, right? I remember
both fights I've been in, I took the first swing. Like,
oh my God.
I just feel like if you cross a certain line, like, be ready to get slapped.
See, you are a firecracker. They were right. Who said that? Yo, who said in the comments that you're a firecracker? You're feisty. Yeah. No, Mom told us. I remember Mom was like, yo, don't start no fights, but if somebody starts with you, you end that shit.
Right.
Defend yourself. Like, Mom said, defend yourself, but she never said. That's who I am
as an adult.
But you said you started your shit.
I was young, you know.
Oh, I can imagine Lynn in school. She was like, bitch, let's go. Let's take this outside. She put her hair, tied it up. She got her boots on.
No, I never instigated anything. It's just like, if you cross a certain line, like, lines crossed.
So what you just said, if you cross certain lines are crossed.
Yeah.
So then you go and you flip that and be like, oh, but a guy should be able to take a slap.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
No.
It's different. It's different when, like, you see videos of women who are like just swinging on a guy or like hitting him repeatedly or like any of that. That's not acceptable. Like, I'm not saying, like, ladies, don't beat your men. That's not what I'm saying.
You're so saying that.
But, like, I feel like we should be able to interact, men and women, with a certain amount of respect. If you disrespect,
but you say it's okay to smack a man.
Someone, yes, if you disrespect a woman to a certain point, like, she needs to say, like, yo, fucking wake the fuck up. Like, realize what the hell you're doing.
Why can't she articulate that with her mouth like a grown woman? Why does she have to revert to violence? So you're saying that Will reverting to violence, he should not have done that.
He shouldn't have.
You should articulate bad on Will. But now you're saying,
not in that situation. Like, I'm not saying that Jada should have stood up and slapped Chris. That's not what I'm saying at all. Because it didn't call for it in that situation. But if the situation calls for someone to throw hands, like, you should be fully aware that you're disrespecting somebody to the point that you're going to get...
I thought we said the only point that hands should be thrown is for defense. We agreed on that. Now you're saying, no, well, if you insult me... No, nobody should get... Look, if you're prepared to smack somebody, be ready for them to smack you back. That's it. And if you... Listen, Lynn, if you got to revert to smacking, then you're not conveying your message across. you need to articulate better. That's the emotional Latina in you that thinks, ay, mira, you know what this means. No, but here's the thing though. Fellas, if your woman smacks you and you don't do something about it, then right there, your boundaries. You just moved your boundaries further out. And she knows that. She sees that. And so she's going to test you. And she's going to be like, oh, you let me get away with this? I'm going to do it this.
That's not true.
Oh, you let me get away with this? I'm going to do this. And before you know it, she has no respect for you. It's a lack of respect. That's really what it is.
That is what it is.
It's a lack of respect and a lack of respect of somebody's boundaries.
And you know what? I can actually attest to that. Because, like, if I don't respect you...
You're going to smack him.
I just don't respect you. No, but... I don't think I'm like articulating what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying like, oh, like you can say something and that's gonna lead to you getting smacked. Like you're making it seem like I'm saying it in a very light way. Like, no, it should be last resort, but
no, I guarantee that it's just one moment. You probably just did it once, and it's just one time, and then just the passion you felt, that's what you're defending. So it's not like you smacking guys out here all the time. I get it. It's one time you smacked somebody, and it was just so passionate that you're like, I gotta defend this because it's the way I feel. So you're putting feels over real. And the reality is that you disrespected them. I get it. You were emotional. I get it. You wanted to convey the message. Like, why can't you just fucking understand me? But that's because you gotta articulate more. You gotta say, you gotta speak up. You gotta talk. We got to communicate as a society. We got to communicate. We got to talk.
We definitely, no, you know what? You know what? You're absolutely right in that, like, we do have to talk, but we also have to be more receptive. Because a lot of people listen just to respond. They're not listening to actually, like, listen to you and understand you. Like, we as a society need to learn how to communicate. Especially between men and women. Because we think differently.
We do think differently, yes.
So we need
but in the same sense too, women are very emotional, and so you gotta like if a man can put a woman in check, if a man can make a woman feel a certain type of way, she's gonna be the one. That's the woman who's gonna follow. That's the woman who like she's gonna respect you because you have just this way over her emotion. So I'm guaranteeing that the guy you smacked was also the guy you respected the most. That's all I'm just gonna say. I'm just gonna put that out there. Like, is it? Is it?
No, I've slapped more than one man, but...
I got the picture! And you're like I'm slapping them all. I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm done. She's smacking away, bro. Let's read the comments. Let's go back to the comments. I'm going to start from the bottom because this one was freaking hilarious. If I get slapped, I would take death and wear a neck brace and crutches for 1 year. So my man, this is my man Fuzz. He's like, you smack me, I'm going to act like the WWE. I'm going to flip around. What are you doing? Come with the neck brace. He's like, she's abusive. Get me out of this relationship. All right. Do you think Jada is a hostage to Will Smith's bad temper and perhaps a victim of domestic violence? No, I think it's the other way around. I think Will Smith is a nice guy. I believe the person we've been seeing on the movies is just an act. That's him, acting and portraying. He thought he was the man and all smooth and all this, but he's just a nice guy deep and down inside. And I think Jada's the one that's abusive in that relationship. Because I guarantee if Will ever puts her hands on it, that would be all out. The whole world's going to know that. It's mental too.
Yeah.
And it's heavily mental.
What?
Manipulation, just like...
I've been one of those.
An emotional roller coaster. Man, one day they love you, the next day they hate you. Yeah. We've both been in that situation. And that's why I'm speaking from a point of experience in my own life. Like, I see what's going on with Will because I lived that. I was in that life and I got out of it. I'm happy for it. I grew. And that's where now my message is like, yo, you got to love yourself. You got to have that inner confidence. You have to believe in yourself. And if somebody ever comes up and say, yo, Ray, I need an advice for this relationship, I'd be like, first off, do you love yourself? Like, can you live without this person? Can you live alone? If you can't say yes to those two things, then you ain't ready to get into a relationship, because you're gonna be in that, you're in desperation mode. So you're gonna do whatever you need to do to keep that relationship going. Regina Hall made fun of Will Smith too. Yes, that was, I believe that was the other host, Regina Hall. So yeah, everybody was joking, everybody was making fun of Will, and Will was laughing. Will laughed at the joke. That's my thing. Will laughed at the joke.
He did.
Like Chris Rock said, it was like, and then he looked over and he was like,
oh shit,
I'm in trouble.
Shit.
Oh no. Like a kid, like worse than a kid, yo. Will's a toddler right now, and that's his mom, and he's looking over like she was ready to go, like beat his ass for laughing. That's just, man. I feel bad for Will, man. They say, their thoughts on Will Smith slap, crypto exists, and of course it's soaring. So Will Smith's slapping, now crypto's going up. Yo, Will needs to slap everybody. Yo, maybe that money, Will. Well, they got the Will slap as an NFT. Yeah, probably. But they've been taking out all famous, so they probably snapshot that. But see, my thing is, like, why would you buy that? Why would somebody buy that image when you could just go on the internet and copy the image? Like, I don't get that. So you have the rights to that image, you could sue somebody, but I don't know. That's weird. It's everywhere.
It's bragging rights. I have bragging rights.
I have bragging rights for the image. Yeah. So I'm going back on the comments. They say he chose to slap and not close his fist because he didn't want to hurt Chris. He didn't even want to smack Chris. He likes Chris. He thought Chris was funny. He was laughing. That's why he didn't punch him. That's why he smacked him. That's why he smacked his jacket. He was like, I gotta do this, Chris. Chris was like, okay. It's like, yo, I'm telling you, it wasn't Will. Like, that's why there's no beef there. That's why, Chris didn't press charges or anything. It's like, and that's why Will started crying, because he was like, yo, this is my first accomplishment in 30 years. I got an Oscar. You guys say like, that's the thing. Like, you get this award to say you are an actor, right? Yeah. Like a Grammy. You get a Grammy to say you are a musician, right? So it's like you get the Oscar. It's your first Oscar. And amongst, instead of just getting applauded by your peers and having that speech and saying, yo, I finally made it, thank you, blah, blah. He's marred under all this toxicness that is her. You got him on the face good. Did he? Oh, okay, I thought he got him in the shoulder. I thought when I saw it was like right here, but he got him on the face. Either way, Chris Rock, man. Mad respect for that dude. He's just like, okay, let's keep it going. He didn't say no follow-up, no. Man, if it was Kevin Hart, Kevin Hart would have followed back.
Kevin Hart would have started screaming.
Yeah, I think Kevin Hart would have put a hand back too. I think Kevin Hart would have probably hit him back, and they probably made like some funny joke or something like that. And if he didn't hit him back, he would have probably made some like a funny joke afterwards. I still think that one's funny. Like, I'm gonna be feeling that till August. Yeah. So Lynn, what's your take? You're quiet over there.
What's up? I'm like
you still
feeling
think
this
women...
like squeeze. What?
So you think it's okay for women to put hands on men?
No, I think women need to get better at realizing they're in a toxic relationship earlier, before having to get to that point. Because you shouldn't be. I don't believe that women should be putting their hands on men.
But women like being in toxic relationships.
Not true.
Yeah, most women are very emotional.
Most women are in the same phenomenon that you explain, like, oh, well, I'm just so desperate to be in a relationship. Mm-hmm. And, like, women, we make bad choices.
Okay, so let's go back to Will and Jada. In that scenario, that's a toxic relationship, but Jada loves it. because she gets to manipulate Will.
But how do you know she loves it?
Oh, she loves it. She gets to dip out. She gets to test boundaries. Well, you know what? At some point, she's gonna get tired of it. She's gonna be like, you know what? And she'll probably be the one who like engages for the divorce, because she's gonna be like, oh, Will's not taking it anymore. He's cracking. Oh, he's so weak. Blah blah blah. And then she'll probably put him for the divorce. And then that's how Will's gonna get his escape from it. Especially if she can find somebody who's willing to date her, who's more to her in her eyes more masculine than Will. She'll leave in a heartbeat. Oh yeah. So maybe you're right. Maybe she's done with it. She'll be soon done with it too.
I don't know enough of it to really give my opinion.
What do you mean you don't know enough of it?
I don't know enough of it because I don't know, like, I don't know if either of them are happy in their relationship right now. We don't know their problems. We don't know what led them to get to where they are. We don't know what happens behind closed doors. All we know is, like, what's been glorified, like, through social media.
Oh, they're saying, oh, yes, I did see that. Sorry to cut you off. But they're saying that Will's a hypocrite because an old video resurfaced of Will Smith making bald jokes. Yes, and that was on the old Arsenio Hall shows. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because being bald ain't a big deal.
He laughed at the joke.
Mm-hmm.
He thought it was funny.
Yeah. So it was just, I'm telling you, he was triggered by a look that she gave him, and the look was, this is why I cheated on your ass. Because you ain't a man. And he was like, I gotta go get my manhood. Sorry, Chris, I need my manhood back. But he ain't gonna get his manhood. He's not. He has to go get his manhood. He has to go on that journey. He has to say, I want to be alone. He's like, yo, bye, and then go do what he has to do. Fortunately, it ain't gonna happen. Man, you checked out.
Men. No, I'm reading the comments. Bald men, but not women. It's different to joke about bald women.
It's different to joke about women, period. It's like you guys have been such a sheltered class now that it's like you can't even make fun of them. You can make fun of a fat man.
You know what?
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is a horrible thing to make fun of a woman, who's bald. Like, I'd understand if it wasn't a part of our culture, but right now it's a part of our culture. Women are bald. It's a thing. So, like, it shouldn't be, like, so, like, hurtful. Like, oh, my God, they're making fun of me because I have no hair right now.
But it is. It's the same way, like, you can make fun of a fat guy. They're making fun of fat guys all the time on one end. And then the other end, you got, like, women saying, no, you can't make fun of a fat woman. You're putting her down. And look, Lizzo has a new show on Amazon that I keep seeing the advertisement for. And it's her and just a bunch of fat girls. It's like, that's the two different realities we live in. Like, guys can be made fun of so much shit, and women are so protected. You're right. Being bald is nothing. Like, I don't understand. You could make fun of somebody being bald at both sex. You're bald. Whatever. It's just a joke. Move on. But that's the society we live in where things are protected on one end, right? You can make that same joke to a dude, everybody's laughing. Make that joke to a woman. Why do we have that reaction? Why is it night and day like that? Bald lady is too jarring. It is, but they're out there. Or even the shortcuts. Mm-hmm. Ladies with their nose pierced. It's like women are doing all kinds of things. I mean, me personally, I don't find it, like, you're right, it's jarring and it's not attractive. I don't see the nose piercing, the short hair, none of that is attractive, but that's what women want to do. Colored hair, short hair, all that stuff. It's like, yo, you put yourself out there with that. If somebody cracks a joke on you, laugh about it. You're supposed to have the confidence. Mm-hmm. That's why you did it, right? Because you have the confidence to do it. Stand by it. Oh, we got a bunch of snowflakes. Let's find the snow. I don't get the snowflakes. Oh, they're a bunch of snowflakes. Yeah, I get it now. You said it. I didn't. So Lynn, go over there. Let's talk about that. Why are women so sensitive? I'm not saying you in general, but just like in society, why are women so sensitive?
I honestly, I think it's not just women who are sensitive. I think men are sensitive also. But I think we're really just too caught up in our minds. We're too caught up in the imaginary expectations that we create in our minds.
Okay, but I guess what I'm asking, and you're like, oh, men are sensitive too, and I agree with that. We could talk about that here shortly too. But what I'm asking in the sense of like, why is it in society like you could make fun of like if it's something that's projected onto a man, nobody really talks about it. But when it's something that a woman, oh, she's strong and independent, oh, she's fat, don't make fun of her, oh, like she could like why is it that they're applauded for that? Why are they like rewarded for that? You know what I'm saying?
No.
No?
No.
It's like I don't understand why there's certain things that like if the message is that women are strong and independent, right? That's what you're being fed. Why is it that certain things can be made fun of on a man but not on a woman?
I don't know, right?
Like
I'm like that checked out with society. I don't know. Like these like situations that you're describing, I don't experience. Like, I don't know.
So, all right. So you were saying that both men and women are sensitive these days. So how do we build against that?
We have to build self-confidence. We have to believe in ourselves again. You know, we have to stop second guessing our own minds, our own thoughts, our own guts.
Stop putting ourselves in toxic relationships.
Yeah.
Relationships that are not
Stop
going
holding
anywhere.
on. Like if it's no longer serving you, move on. Like be comfortable with being on your own. Like don't just jump into a relationship with a guy or a woman because they're giving you attention.
So we got another comment here. It said, in the multiverse, imagine Will Smith never slapped Chris Rock. Will Smith would have been the toast of the town, darling of Hollywood, perhaps win back Mr. Nice Guy title again. Correct. If he was a little selfish and just let the joke slide, and then like, yo, you deal with your own, if you don't like it, you deal with it. And he would have just never slapped her and then went for his acceptance speech and been like, yo, thank you, blah, blah, talk about the last 30 years. You're right. Media will be talking about Will Smith winning. And he'll be getting that momentum. Before you know it, he'll be getting like job offers. We'll be seeing him in Hollywood again. And he'd be the it man again. Because at one point he was the it guy, right? And then he kind of fell off. He would be the it guy again. And ironically, she would be happy in the back end because now he's the it guy again, right? So I don't know. Once again, Will has to. Well, then was saying he has to have self-confidence. He's lacking it right now.
Yeah. And he's already working on another project coming out of like quarantine and everything, like the last like situation we've all been in the last 2 years. Like he's working on like the new Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yes.
Yeah.
The TV show that's on Peacock.
Yeah, so he's behind the scenes helping the kid who's
producer and all that, yep.
So he's already like has his foot back in Hollywood. So now it's like where's
but I
he
guarantee
go from here?
I guarantee after this, I don't think I think Hollywood would stop calling it for a little bit. And be like, you got a bad rap after that. A little toxic. I think so. I have a feeling you're going to see him kind of fall off for a little bit. Then again, I might be wrong. Who knows? Maybe he's still a good draw and he's still making the money and they're like, oh, come on. It's like, is he doing any image control right now? That's a good question because I know he put out a statement. But is he, I don't know. We'll see what happens after this. Where it all goes. It's actually pretty interesting. But,
Did you hear it? Did you hear the statement he put out?
I read it. I think it was like on Twitter or something like that. He was like, he apologized to Chris and was like, that's not the kind of man I want to be and all that. He was like, you're used to hearing jokes, about yourself, but when you hear one about your wife, trying to make an excuse for the triggering. But I'm like, if you're okay with the jokes on you because you're a celebrity, your wife is a celebrity too. And not only is she a celebrity, she's putting your business out there on her own show. The Red Table, but they go on to air it all out, right? Mm-hmm. And so you guys aired out this whole August thing, right? You put that all out there. I mean, she should be able to take a joke. You should be able to take a joke made on her expense. It's like you guys put that out there.
But he was. He took it as a joke. His initial reaction was to take it as a joke.
He did. Right. And I think that's what she found disrespectful. And I think honestly, if he didn't laugh, I think she would have just let it go. Because she didn't laugh. She was like, And if he would have went, then none of this would have happened. Mm. But it was because he dared to step out of the program. He dared to laugh at a joke on her expense.
You're just drawing your own conclusions.
Will's not as programmed as you think, Jada. There's still life in him. He's laughing at your jokes. All right, so what are some of the comments we have? It says,
imagine we find a rat controlling Will Smith.
Will Smith like Ratatouille. That should be a meme. Oh, that would be hilarious. This probably is a meme with the rat, Jada's faces on the rat, and then it's like controlling and it's Will. Oh, that's hilarious. You need to be more involved in non-mainstream life, Ray. Go hang out with the Amish. Yeah, you know what? I think I would be alright as an Amish guy. the more I live my life, the more I'm like, do I really need all this stuff? I need all this stuff. All this, shut all this stuff out. I mean, just be out there. I want to be a mountain man. I think that's what I'm going to be, mountain man.
No, I want you to be a pirate. I need you to come visit me in the Caribbean.
So I found a kid on YouTube who he sailed from Maine. Mm-hmm. I guess he lived in Maine. He sailed from Maine all the way down to Florida, and he bought the boat. He said the total cost of all of it was $40,000. Mm-hmm. And he was like, that was including the boat, the maintenance, the fuel, everything. And he just did it. I was like, yo, I'm getting motivated because I'm like, now it's popping up on YouTube. Mm-hmm. I'm like, yes. I'm like, I gotta become a pirate. Me and the boys, we have here at the end of April, we have a trip planned to go to the Outer Banks. It's probably gonna be a little cold, but we're planning on a road trip. Mm-hmm. Like I take a week out there.
Nice.
Camp out, live out in the truck. But yeah, I want to be that pirate. You're right. I gotta come visit you. When the world goes to shit. Oh, you know what's funny though? So you know how we're talking about like everybody's like pushing for World War III, mm-hmm. and I'm like, it's not gonna happen. And you'll see by the summertime it'll all be over. It's because look, Will smacked Chris, and that was trending for the last 48 hours, and everybody stopped talking about the whole conflict that's going on right now. Right? It's not in the news anymore. And so before you know it, especially when it starts warming up and people are traveling and going everywhere, I'm telling you, you're going to see it. Like, people are going to stop talking about what's going on over in Ukraine, and it's just going to end. It's going to fizzle. We're going to come to some kind of agreement, and we're all going to keep moving on. So it's news. It's the news just feeding that fear just so they can get those clicks, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. That's
same thing with Kofifi. Yeah, same thing with Kofifi. Yeah. So I'm like, yo. Now, I don't know about gas prices going back down because have you heard the current administration is looking at taxing oil drillers here in the U.S.?
I did not hear that.
I'm like, now while we're going through this fuel crisis, you want to go and tax the people who are making? Yeah, okay, that's smart. Right. Where are they going to trickle that down to? To our pockets. So what's going to happen if fuel gets really expensive? You can't really travel. What are you going to do?
I don't know.
How are you going to get your zen and your energy?
Well, no. So going into the spring, I do a lot of traveling in the winter, and I think it's because I'm trying to get away from the cold. But going into the spring, now I'm like fixing up my backyard again, cleaning up.
Okay.
I got new seating.
What I was getting at, what I was trying to hint at was, would you travel local? Like if you're like, let's say you're stripped from airfares. Let's say airfares goes up really high, right? Would you start to travel local?
What do you mean travel local?
Like the local beaches, like Jersey Shore,
No.
Delaware, Maryland,
No.
Virginia. Look at the face you made.
No.
How much down south you had to get to before your face changed? So I said New Jersey. I said Delaware, Maryland, North Carolina. No. The Carolinas. You gotta drive 8 hours before you're happy. That was
I don't
classic.
belong up here. No. I don't belong in the north.
No. So if you like the beaches and the shores in the Carolinas, why not move to the Carolinas?
Why do I want to move down there?
I
guess I haven't really thought about it. No, I want to move to an island. So I'm content here where I am until I'm on that island.
You would say that, but every time I see something on island life, man, the traffic, waiting for the ferry, that is not fun at all. Like, so on the Outer Banks, right, there's like one island, and you got to take the ferry, and it's like, it has to go out and then back in because of the coastal, like the water and the waves and everything. So it makes the trip longer just to get to the island. And then when you're on the island, the traffic just waiting. You're waiting like 2 or 3 hours for that ferry to go and come back, waiting for your turn to get on that ferry.
Jeez.
And I saw it. I rode the ferry when I was in St. Thomas. It's like, it's not, I don't want to be on an island. I'd rather be on a peninsula. Like Florida is kind of calling me. Because I could drive out of Florida, go all the other places, have some major airports. I can fly everywhere. You know which island?
No, I don't.
DR?
I don't.
DR?
I know Jamaica's a possibility.
Okay.
But that's all I know. I don't know. I know I don't want to live in Puerto Rico.
No?
Nah.
Right, you know the language.
Yeah.
You're a local.
Yeah.
Still a U.S. citizen.
But I'm not really, I'm a gringa. Like, I'm not really Puerto Rican when I'm in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, you know how funny that is? Like, we're not accepted by our own kind. That's why we don't want to go there. Like, you guys don't accept me.
They're like, oh, you have a strange accent.
Yeah.
What you mean? I sound like you. We're the same.
No, you don't. You're an outsider. All right, so whoa, let me go back on the comments. Wow, we're popping over here. Yeah. We just went on a side talk over here. It was fun, though. Talking about the beach life. It's like, I'm getting excited. It's starting to warm up. I'm like, yes. Like, I've been on Amazon, and I've been buying, like, all the stuff I need for camping. I'm like, oh, yeah, let me get this. And it's funny, too, because, like, I already got all the stuff now, so it's kind of like, ooh, that looks nice. That's better than what I have now. I'm upgraded. All right. Everyone talking about Will Smith, but my hood is so bad. I get mugged every day. Damn. Do you, Will? Do you, Fuzz? I was going to say Will. Do you, Will? Fuzz, come on. Really? You got to move. We're going to get you out of there, man. If it's that bad. I thought you were in the good part of Brooklyn. I'm shaking and angry. Ooh. All right, so let's get that anger out of you. Let's talk about that, Fuzz. He said, I called the police. They said, give me a description. I walked to the gas station and said, the crook is over there. Oh, pump! He said, pump number 9. Oh, damn, Fuzz, you had me going for a second. I was like, oh, shit, something went down with Fuzz. Let's talk about this. He said, pump number 9. Sir, it's pump number 9. He robbed me. But island life, you have no time expectations. It doesn't matter if you're waiting that long. That is true. You're just kind of going with the flow. And I think that's why Lynn likes it, because it's just like, take all these constraints, take all this shit off of me. Yeah. And I'm just out here, and I'm just like, What day is it? What year is it? I don't know. Yeah, I get it. Because that's the way I feel when I go out to the shores. When I go out to Delaware, Maryland. Just out there and just kind of just. That's why it keeps calling me, because that's my sense of just going out there, and it's a short drive out there, and then the weekend I'm just lost. Yeah. Right? We're out in the sun, we're eating, we're just like, this is life. He said I stole the pump 9 joke, but yo, you could have gotten credit for that one. Did you change it at least? Did you like pump 7? Oh, from Ice-T Twitter? That's freaking hilarious. Yes, Will Smith definitely overreacted. Yeah. Definitely overreacted. He has to put his emotions in check, and he can't do that until he leaves Jada. I'm saying it right now. He cannot, because that relationship, that dynamic has shifted. There's no way that he's ever going to be the man of his marriage. She's wearing those pants right now. And so he has to cut her off and be able to find his stability as a man. He has to find that on his own now. He has to put his emotions in check. Just like Chris. Chris was very stoic. He was very stoic. He took the hit. He was like, okay, Will went crazy on me, but it is what it is. and Chris didn't react. He has his emotions in check. So good on Chris. Mad respect for Chris Rock. Man, you are so checked out.
I am.
I need your help over here, Lynn.
I'm thinking too. I'm like, how can I contribute?
Well, Adam, come on, because you're just floating over there. It's funny watching you, though, because you're just floating away. It's like, you know what you are right now? You're like an inflatable balloon right now. And I got to hold the string like, no, Lynn, no, don't float away.
You have to wrap it all the way around your hand. Make sure you don't let it go.
Yeah, I got carried. No, Lynn, stay. So those drops are good, huh?
Yeah. It was my first time trying them, and maybe I should have put 2 squeezes.
Oh shit!
Maybe I should have started with 1.
You put for flavoring. You were like, "No, last time wasn't really strong enough." It's not Kool-Aid, Lynn.
Oh damn.
She's like, "Oh, beach. We're talking about the beach now." Oh, she was daydreaming.
I'm so there.
You weren't thinking about how you're going to contribute. You're just thinking about the beach. You're daydreaming. You're like, oh, you mentioned the beach? She's like, I wonder if I can make it out to Miami this weekend. Is that what you're thinking? Nothing. You ain't got nothing. Oh. That's hilarious. Lynn is lit up. Yeah, you see the colors? They're like the colors. Yo. I should go into something deep right now. Yo, you guys got to give me a deep topic so you guys to really try to focus and think about what I'm saying. What? Oh, okay, I got a deep one. So the other day I was watching this show on YouTube, right? And they were talking, and they mentioned, so the one guy he asked the guy, actually, you know what? I'm gonna ask you, Lynn, do you have a soul?
Do I have a soul? Yes.
Can you feel your soul right now?
I think so.
You think so?
I think so.
So they went into a discussion in the show saying if people can't feel their soul, does that mean that they don't have a soul? And then there's people walking among us that are soulless. And that's when I started thinking. And of course I was like you right now. Mm-hmm. So I started thinking, and my mind was turning. I was like, yo, I just had that explosion, that epiphany. I was like, yo, those people are like NPCs because they don't have a soul? What? Is that why they can't see things in a logical way? They can't see the way we're seeing it because they're they don't have a soul? They're soulless? I was like, yo, it was kind of tricky for me.
I don't think people are soulless. I think they lose the connection with their soul.
Mm.
But it's there.
So like right now,
it just has to be sparked.
so right now you said I think so. So are you saying like you're not in touch, you're not connected with your soul?
Well, I don't know what my soul feels like. So I'm like, I don't know how to answer that question. I mean, like if I like lay very still, like I can feel like just like the radiating.
You can feel your energy?
Yeah, like my energy. So yeah, I think I could feel my soul. I would say that's what my soul
Okay,
is.
so you know what your soul feels like.
Yeah.
And look, your soul could, everybody's soul could feel different, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when asked that question, like, is there a soul? And, can you feel it? I think when most people ask that question, I think most people will say yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think people will be like, yeah, I can feel it. Yeah. Yeah, it's the energy in me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, but there's like some people be like, no, I can't feel it. No. So does that mean like, so I like what you're saying, because you're saying like, okay, you just lost that connection.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you got to go out and get more connected with the world. You got to get more connected with nature. You got to get more connected with yourself, and then maybe you'll start to feel that again. Right? So I like that. I like that.
You have to look
there's people
for it.
walking out with no souls.
No.
Like, is there really people walking around here with no souls? And if they don't have no soul, then what do they have in them? A demon? That's kind of tricky.
But you know what? And then,
yeah, why they do bad things?
I watch a lot of like Criminal Minds, and it makes you like wonder, like, what the hell some people have inside of them.
Right. Like if you have no soul, like you did something so like horrendous, like so evil, so just sinister, natural so evil. Like, yeah, something sinister, right? Like what can make you do something like that? Like how can you be so twisted in here? Or is it just like that's not really you? That's you being possessed by it because your soul, you didn't have that connection with your soul, right? Something else that, is in that void.
It could be that right there. Oh my God, that's scary. That's terrifying.
Liv felt that one. She's like, no, take me.
I've been listening to like nightly meditations, like as I'm going to sleep,
okay.
And it's like, they're like, feel your energy growing stronger, and it's like,
right, that's your soul. That's you. So when like like when you feel like you've accomplished something, that sense of accomplishment, or even though like when you're with family and you just that good feeling, good times, it's just like I think you know what your soul feels like.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, like I feel a sense of warmth. When like you're watching something and you it touches your heartstrings, right? Mm-hmm. I think that's your soul feeling a certain type of way.
Yeah.
But it's like, people who don't feel like that, people who just go with whatever the flow is, and then take it one step further. Somebody like you said, somebody so like evil inside. I think there's layers to that. I think you got to understand that. I think it's like, how is your connection to your soul so far gone that you're now, something evil can now take over you. Oh, then check that again.
Hang on.
Text message. School? Is it school again?
No, it wasn't school related. I didn't pick up.
Oh, okay.
I have a friend. She's supposed to be coming over to pick something up, and she's calling me, and I was like, shit, I have to at least text her.
Oh. All right, then I'm gonna let you talk about your soul while I go use the bathroom.
What? Okay,
talk about your soul.
Oh, Jesus.
Your soul.
What I am going to talk about is the current craft that I'm doing. The current craft that I'm doing. So my girlfriend who's coming over to pick up a bag, it has to do with the party that we're planning together. So I'm making centerpieces, and I like put them together in like an arrangement. And I covered like jars with glitter. And those are drying, but it's going to go in like a jar as like centerpieces for the table. That's what I do in my free time. I feel like I'm very connected with my like everyday life and like being in the moment. And it's really cool because I have like all these amazing experiences every day, like whether it's interacting with like one of my children and just like feeling the joy of like them laughing and being silly and giggling, or it's like I feel like accomplished day to day because it's like, oh yeah, I stuck to my meal plan and like I did everything I was supposed to do today. So I'm just very in the moment. I have no idea what's going on in like Hollywood, and like Ray sent me a message. He was like, yo, he sent me a message and he was like, the topic for the next episode, the slap heard across the world. I was like, okay, so I Googled it. And I guess I misread it. So I was searching for the clap heard around the world, and like that like went like a completely different direction. So then I messaged Ray back, and I was like, I don't know what that is. And then I realized that I had like searched the wrong thing. So then I searched it, and it popped right up, and I was like, oh, Will Smith.
So I'm curious, when you searched the clap heard around the world, what came up?
Yo, some crazy like
was
UCLA.
It women twerking?
No, it's something
Was it
about like
twerking?
UCLA, like a college like hand clap that they do, and it's supposed to be like super complicated, but like some politician did it, and I was like, what?
Oh.
There was like some other stuff about like the clap, like STDs. I was like, this is not what we're talking about.
I mean, we could talk about it.
I was like, shit, was there a sudden increase in like some kind of like sexually transmitted disease?
I wonder if my phone did a typo, because like my phone is like notorious for like changing my words. Mm-hmm. iPhones are, so it's not just me. I see a lot of people are like, oh, I didn't mean to say that.
Yeah,
like,
autocorrect.
Yeah, iPhone, right? Yeah. And
then you send the correct word with the little asterisk.
No, but what I noticed is like when I was on Android and like what you would say, like your Samsung, like it actually knows like your words after a while.
Yeah.
iPhone doesn't do that. Like it keeps giving you the same suggestion, and they're like really like aggressive with it. Like they'll just change your word, and I'm like, yo, that's not what I wanted. What are you doing? So I was like, oh, so did I send the wrong thing? Did I actually send you the
No, you didn't. I misread it, and
this episode is going to be like telephone.
Rabbit hole.
This episode is going to be like telephone. At the end, we're just going to say Will Smith has the clap. We're not saying he has that. Like, wait, what? Oh, that's hilarious.
I need to clip that.
So what
right
you
there.
Talked about?
Hang on, I have to clip that right there.
Oh, come on. I did not say those. I apologize, YouTube. I did not say that. I said in a context that was taken out of context by the person right here.
Your sibling?
That's hilarious. Yeah, my sibling. I swear. So what are you talking about?
I was showing them the project that I'm working on.
Okay.
Look, I'm making like centerpieces for a party.
Okay.
I'm doing
a bridal party?
No, it's
bridal shower?
A 30th birthday party.
30th birthday party. Mm-hmm. Oh shit. Who's turning 30?
Dirty 30.
Sister? Why are you telling me names?
You know.
What are you doing? That 30.
Give her a shout out. Happy 30th.
It's funny because like women they don't like turning 30. That's like a big one. They're like, oh no, world ending 30.
There's nothing wrong with 30. What are you talking about?
Oh, how much you know? You're not 30 yet, right? Every time somebody asks how old you are, you're like, I'm 29. How would you know how
Yo,
30 is?
all I knew for the longest time was that for my 30th birthday, I was gonna be on the beach for 2 full weeks. Two full weeks.
Did it happen?
I damn sure made that happen.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I was in
okay.
DR. DR.
That was funny because you always made your birthday like this big like it was either your birthday week, if it would be like a whole birthday month. I was like, damn, seriously? like you're close to like making a whole birthday year. Like, yeah, it's still my birthday. Celebrating the whole year.
Actually, the kids and I do that now. Every time we go out to eat at a restaurant, we take turns as to whose birthday it is.
Oh, yeah? That's hilarious. That's hilarious. You seen the outfit yet? Oh, what movie did I see over the weekend? I actually did not see any movie over the weekend. Right now, gas prices are high. My movie theater is like far away, and I'm like, God, is that really gonna be a good movie? Can I wait? Can I wait to see that on demand? I actually saw the 1989 Batman again, and I was like, man, this movie has not aged well. Which is funny because I remember seeing that movie. Like that was one of the like most like pivotal movies in my childhood. Like I was 8 years old. I remember my mom taking me to the Whitestone Cinema in the Bronx, right? Taking me there, going to see it, and then just like the whole bat symbol coming on, and it was just dope. It was like a trip. And like I remember vividly. And then seeing it now, it was like, you touch back on your childhood, and it's like sometimes you don't want to do that. Sometimes you don't want to look back at the things that was fulfilling when you were a kid because it's just not the same. You know, things don't age well. Like the cartoons, the movies, all that stuff. You try to watch it now, and you're just like, oh, this doesn't really. Wait, what? I don't know. It might be something like when we're a kid, we I don't know. Like things tends to be more heightened. So something that's like mediocre, we're like, this is the best thing ever, you know. And then you watch it, and you watch it as you're older, and you're more sensible. You have more of like, no, this is not. This was crap. And kids are dumb too. I know I was when I was a kid. You seen the outfit yet? I don't know. No, what is that? What's the outfit? Is that a movie? Post down below. Add more into the comments. I don't know what that is. But yeah, no. I do want to see. I don't think it's coming out this weekend. I think it's coming out soon. But I want to see that new Nicolas Cage movie. I don't know if you saw the trailer for it, but it stars Nicolas Cage. I think Pedro Pascal. Some other people too. But it's Will Smith playing. I mean, not Will Smith. Nicolas Cage playing himself. So it's Nicolas Cage acting like he's Nicolas Cage, and then this big like drug dealer hires him to come for the weekend just to like hang out and be buddies and what all that because he's like a big Nicolas Cage fan, right? And then I think the CIA they reach out to him and they're like, "Hey, do you know who this is? This is a big drug dealer. We want you to like spy on him and be like an agent." And so that's like the whole movie. And it's cool because it's like Nicolas Cage still being crazy, but he's like Nick. So it's weird because it's like it's Nicolas Cage being crazy Nicolas Cage, but that's not an act. That's actually him. So it's like it looks really cool. I want to see it. So that one's on my list. I'll have to drive to the movie theater for that one. That one looks good. I don't even know where they went. She stepped out. She probably went to the bathroom. Ray, check out Everything Everywhere All at Once in theaters starring Michelle Yee. Best movie I saw in my entire life. Really? Really? I saw the trailer for it. I don't know. I know it was like multiverse, where it was like multi versions of her. And it kind of gave me like that Inception vibe. So I don't know if it was out yet, if it came out yet in the movies, or if it was coming out, but it did look interesting from the trailers. So if it's out, I might have to go check that one out. If you're standing by it. I'm telling you, Fuzz, we need to start a channel where me and you were doing movie reviews. Cause like I haven't seen somebody in my life other than the people like who I follow on YouTube that are so into movies like you and me. Cause like Oh, I mean, I have one friend. I do have one friend who's like a real big cinema buff. But other than that, like you see Lynn, she's like, really? You go to movies that often? Like, I love going to the movies. That's like one of my favorite pastimes. Just popping in a movie. Even just at home, just popping in like an old movie and just thinking about, where I was and what I was feeling at the time when I watched that movie. That's why I saw Batman over the weekend, because it was just like, I don't know, I just wanted to feel like a kid again. I was like, oh, Batman, cool. Nicholas, no. Oh, shit. What was his name? Jack Nicholson is, to this day, is one of the best Jokers out there. I think after him, it would be tied. It would be tied with, I forgot who played the Joker in the Joker movie. That movie was good. That Joker movie, woo, that was good. Like, you really feel for the Joker. Like, he was just so, like, broken down. Like, I feel like that's where Will Smith is going. Like, he's so broken down to the point where he's going to start doing crazy shit because he just, I don't know, like, he's just broken. Welcome back, Lynn.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, my first guest today, Lynn. You gotta be like, thank you for having me, right? All right. So, Lynn, I'm gonna give you a pass. You ain't got nothing else? You wanna cut this one short?
No, we don't gotta cut it short.
You feeling a certain type of way?
No, keep going.
All right, because I'm talking about movies. I know how you get when I start talking about movies. Oh, yeah, Joaquin Phoenix. Mark Hamill. Yeah, Mark Hamill did the voice of Joker. He's definitely up there on the list. I would say, this is hard now. That's Joker. Jack Nicholson, definitely number one. Mark Hamill, that was my childhood. So I'm going to have to put him as number two. And then, Lynn took too much today. She has to come back a little. She didn't engage it. You know what she did? I know exactly what she did because I would have done the same thing. She did it for flavoring. So she put in the little juice and she's like, I want it to taste good. And this one, as she's drinking it, she's like, oh, fuck, this is too much. Because it's like, you know how you're used to like those little squeeze things?
Yes,
like
the
it's
squeeze
Kool-Aid.
bottles, the Mio.
Yeah, and you want it to be flavored good. So you're squeezing, you squeeze like half the bottle so the damn thing tastes good. That's what Lynn did. And she forgot what it was. Look, I gave her an out and she was like, no. All right, so Heath Ledger. Yeah, I know. That's what I was gonna say too. Cause it was funny because what was it on YouTube? GameSpot had a whole DC movie like March challenge bracket, and so they were going through all the movies, working their way down, and they had Justice League on there. They had Wonder Woman, Aquaman, all the Superman, even the Superman movies from back in the 80s, right? So they had them all on there. They were going through the brackets and everything. And they finally came down to the new Batman versus The Dark Knight. And I was like, hands down, it's going to be The Dark Knight. Because that's like, that to this day is the best Batman movie ever. Some people say it's like the best movie ever. But to me, that was like the best comic book movie ever. Lynn's just loving this. She's like, oh, Ray's loving it. Yes. They're feeding me all of this. Lynn reminds me of the guest on the Joey Diaz show. Oh, you gotta send us that clip. I don't know what that is. Send us that clip because I want to see if it's.
I'm like afraid to
that's
know.
Yeah. All right. So let's go back. Going back to the joke because there's like all these names. All right. Jack's first. I would have to say Heath is number two. And then Mark Hamill, and then Joaquin Phoenix. Oh, that's hard. Because Joaquin Phoenix, that Joker movie was off the chain. I'm telling you, that's what Will Smith. Will Smith's going to become the Joker. He's going to be like in the mirror, like, why don't they love me anymore?
Yo, I love how you nerd out on this shit. Like,
what?
I know
fucking
none
love
of
movies.
these names. I'm just like, oh, okay. Yeah.
I was telling Fuzz, I was like, me and Fuzz, we got to start a channel where we do movie reviews because I've only known one other person who's been a movie buff like Fuzz. You all right, Lee?
Yeah,
I feel like you're trying to hold it together. I'm telling you, we could cut it if you want to cut it.
Damn, you make it seem like I'm like tweaking out over here.
Hmm? No, it's just your comments are limited today.
Yeah, I don't have much to say. Well, let's cut it.
All right, so close this out.
Sour OJ. It's also the lighting.
Looks like she drank too much sour orange juice. Sour orange
It's also the lighting.
Is that a term I don't know? Is that one going over my head?
I don't know, my head's coming closer. I have to do a closer up so that y'all can see I'm not like...
No, your eyes are not red.
speaking out over here. I'm good.
No.
I'm just
not. You
not...
have to defend yourself. I know it. I get it. You just put a little bit too much.
This is making me feel
I've seen you worse.
about it.
I've seen you worse. We've been worse. Red eyes. Ain't no red eyes. It's all white over there.
All right, guys. I love you all. Thank you for another great episode. We don't really have a closing. We need a closing, like a solid. This is what we say at the end of the show.
Don't they call Chinese people China in Puerto Rico? Yes.
They do.
Chinos is a term for Chinese. Yes, in Spanish is a term for Chinese. Yeah. Chino, yeah. Yes, you are correct. And it's actually something like if I just want Chinese food, I'm like, I'm going to go order Chinos. Yes, that is the word. China. Is that what they call you?
Me?
Because of your eyes? Yeah.
No, people tell me I look Hawaiian.
You look Hawaiian?
Yeah.
You do
like
look
Hawaiian
like you're like
native.
Samoan.
Mm-hmm.
Samoan. Girls will probably pass for Indian.
Yeah.
That's good.
I have no idea who my ancestors are. Like,
but that's
I
cool,
think about
though.
that
Like,
stuff.
But why do you want to dig into who your ancestors were? I mean, look at the island of Puerto Rico.
I want to know.
Right? It was local natives and the Spaniards that came in and conquered and slaves. So that's your ancestors. You're native/slave/Spaniard. Other than that, the fact that you look like all these races, you should embrace that.
I think it's kind of cool.
Go enjoy that. Go have a good time. Go hang out with go party with some Indian people. That's great. Go party with the Samoans. Woo-ah! That's how they go. They do the stomp. Because WWE, they always do it at WWE, so that's how they all go. I think that was also in one movie that was Hobbs and Shaw, because that was the Rock's movie, and he had his cousin, was Roman Reigns. So they were in that movie, and they were like, yeah. China also means OJ too. Oh, okay. All right. But it's not derogatory. Gotcha. So that's why your eyes are like squinty. Mm-hmm. That's what he's trying to say, that your eyes are squinty.
Yeah. Cochino.
But it's not derogatory. Of course it's not. It's all with love. You gotta laugh at yourself, Lynn. Don't be a Jada.
She was mad. She was mad.
I think Lynn could take a joke. She has to. She's gonna do it with me.
All right, guys. Well, that's all for today.
Maori tribe in New Zealand. Oh, I never heard of that. The Maori tribe in New Zealand. They got. That's what she looks like. Are you Googling it, Lynn? That's what you look like. I don't know what you're doing. Are you Googling it?
I'm trying to. Oh, I could just grab my phone. Oh, okay.
okay, gotcha. From the movie, yeah. But but they didn't. That wasn't. To me, they acted more like Samoan or more Hawaiian. I feel like they were. That was what they were portraying. But yeah, that's right. They were out in that way.
Oh, it's not gonna let
I
me
can't
show
see
you.
you. All blurred out.
It's not gonna let you show you. There we go.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. That's what they would do. They were all like, go. That's cool though, because that's like, you know how like black colleges, they have like the line dance, and like when you're in part of your fraternity, you got to do the dance and all that. Well, that's how they are, but that's like part of their culture. So it's like they'll have the men do that. It's like a tribal thing, but they all do it in sync and everything. And it's like that's like how they do like ceremonies and stuff like that. That's actually kind of cool. That's really cool. And then like all the tattoos that they have on them, like it means something. Which like you know, yeah. So that's he was saying that's the Maori tribe in New Zealand, but I know Samoans are like that. I know Hawaiians are like that. That's why right now they have such a dominant force in WWE, because they're all about family and they're all about promoting their family. Mm-hmm. So like The Rock, I know he's the biggest one, but he has like a bunch of cousins, a bunch of uncles, and a bunch of like they're like, when you go down the family line in WWE, like their whole family pretty much is like they've been on there fighting. Like his father was a wrestler, his grandfather was a wrestler. Like his grandfather, his daughter, which is his mom, she was part of like the promotion. That's how she met his father. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool how they're like about family. You know, we're talking about like tribes and building your community. That's what the world needs to like inspire. It's like things like that they pass down those traditions, and they also worry about, you know, family. Like, you know, we're family. Let's take care of family.
Yeah.
NFL players are from Samoa too. Yeah. Yep. And a lot of the wrestlers, like The Rock, played football. Roman Reigns played football. Like that's how they get their start. They start playing in football, and then afterwards, you know, for whatever reason, they go and they move over to the WWE. And it's not just dudes too, because I know there's some cousins that are females that are wrestling on the women's side too, and they're all part of that same family. They're all like distant cousins and everything like that. That's kind of cool. The Usos, they're all part of it too.
Tristan, I'm gonna be out here doing the haka.
You know what that means? I don't know what that
means. I'm assuming it's like the tribal dances.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go, because you look tribal. There you go. You're part of the island. That's why the island's calling you. You got the look in you. Mm-hmm. Because I guarantee, like, if you go to, like, Dominican, you fit in. And, you know, DR, you fit in. You go down to even, like, some parts of Latin America, you fit in there, too. Mm-hmm. That's good, though. You want to fit in. You don't want to stick out. That's good that your face can merge, you know, with anybody. All these cultures and stuff. That's great.
Yeah, that's cool.
Will Smith's tribal dance, the slap. Yeah. I'm telling you, Lynn, I'm smacking happiness. I'm going to Will Smith on all these people. I'm just going to Will Smith on you. You're going to be happy. I'm going to Will Smith that happiness into you.
Actually, Will Smith did the Ray.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's what happened.
Oh, that's hilarious. All right, Lynn. I've been ranting for you. Go ahead, close this out. I know you want to close it out.
All right, guys.
I keep
another great episode.
Thank you, guys. We love you.
See you next time.
We'll see you on Thursday. If you haven't, comment down below, like, subscribe to the channel. If you're new to the channel, let us know how you found us.